What's up, guys? It's Tex. Today's Monday, November 26, 2018. I thought I would do a trade recap for you today. I guess I don't do these very often, but if you'd like to see more of these, let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to do them a little more often. But I'll go over the 3 trades that I took today. I traded NVDA for a loss, Apple and Tesla for a win. I traded Tesla both ways, so I took a couple of trades, actually 3 trades on Tesla. Technically, they were all wins, but the bigger win was the long position. I traded it long and short. So let me start out with NVIDIA, which was the first trade I took today. All right, so taking a look at the 2-minute chart here on NVIDIA, during pre-market, you can see that it was really holding up this level here. We have a pivot level here at 148.80, and you've also got the pre-market open price here. And it just looks strong. So NVIDIA was my top watch. I was thinking that NVIDIA might actually have a nice green day. You know, it's been so downbeaten lately that it also got an upgrade as well today. So I was looking definitely long bias on NVIDIA, but I wanted to see it pull back to the 147 area, maybe 147.50 off of the open. I wanted to see a quick wash down because if we zoom out, you can see there's a little bit of support right here and here around the 147 area. Let's see. Yeah, a little bit right here as well. See, where was I seeing that at? So zoom over here. Give me a second. So this is 148.50. 147, yeah, right there. Sorry, I went a little too far. So here on this day, as well as, again, like I said, right here and here. So, you know, there was a little bit of support there, and I wanted to see that hold. I didn't want to see it wash any further than that area. So that was kind of what I had in mind off the open. Unfortunately, it did end up ripping straight off of the open here, as you can see. So I thought, all right, so it looks like NVIDIA is, as I'm talking, NVIDIA is like literally ripping here. NVIDIA ripped right off the open. So I said, all right, it didn't do what I wanted to see according to my trade plan. You know, if it had washed out very quickly and held that 147 area, I was going to grab about 300 or 400 shares. But since it ripped right off the open, I wanted to make sure that I at least got involved. So I looked for a quick pullback to get in, but I only took 100 shares because obviously it's you know, it's not a great entry. It's a bit of a chase, but I did wait for a pullback. So let me dial it in on a 20-second chart because it's just hard to see that on a 2-minute chart. So let's go over here to the open, and here we go. Whoops. We'll zoom in. All right, so here's again the 20-second chart. So each candle is 20 seconds. You can see we popped up here on the open for the first 40 seconds, and we pulled right back down here to the VWAP. So I saw the VWAP hold, and we started to pop off of it. So I jumped in right about here. Again, I only took 100 shares. Immediately went into the green here, but I did not take profit because my my target on this was the 152.91 area from the daily chart. Or the 152.59 was the next pivot level. So depending on how the price acted at this first pivot level, I was going to be looking to take some profit there, or if we just rip right through it, definitely start looking at taking some profit at this level here where it did have some trouble getting over here on this day. Broke over, kind of tried to hold it here after hours on this day. So it was a key level that definitely would have been some resistance right there. So that was my profit target. So because of that, I didn't take any profits up here when I was in the green. Then we pulled back down, and I started to get basically around break even here, holding the VWAP though. So I just held on. Then we cracked here below the VWAP. Right about here, I'm basically a little in the red, but I wanted to wait for confirmation because sometimes these things will come down and then come back up. So once we broke down and closed down here below VWAP, this was my confirmation. So by the time I actually got out of the trade, it was as this was washing down here. So did take a little bit of a loss on it, but nothing too bad. Just took a loss on the first trade of the day. It wasn't a trade per my trade plan, so in hindsight, maybe I shouldn't have taken it, but it just looked strong. It looked like it wanted to go. With the upgrade as well, I thought that NVIDIA would really push. Unfortunately, we just didn't get the follow through. So not a big deal, not a big loss or anything. Let's go to Apple. That was the second thing that I traded this morning. And looking at the 2-minute charts, I wasn't actually looking at Apple right here because I was currently in NVIDIA at the time, but you can see that Apple had a lot of trouble here at the pre-market open price, nice and wicky here. Really gave a good short entry right here with a nice clear defined risk level. You can see that all pre-market, it was just basically trending down. So Apple was showing a divergence. It was looking weak. Didn't want to hold the gap up with the rest of the market. It was just trying to sell it off. But ended up getting out of NVIDIA, and I noticed that Apple was getting pretty extended on this sell-off. Looked at the daily chart, and this level down here was a gap level on the daily chart. So I saw that Apple was starting to hold this level on the tape in level 2, and confirmation with the gap level that I saw on the daily chart. I went ahead and took 300 shares, got filled about 173. I think it was 173.06, somewhere right about this area is where I got filled. My profit target on this was the VWAP. So let me actually again hop over here to a 20-second chart as well, so you can see this. Because if you're looking at a 2-minute chart, you can't see the development of those candles. So a 20-second chart in hindsight really does kind of help you see what I was seeing in real time. Okay, so again, I got filled right about in this area. And my profit target was the VWAP. When we pushed up here to the 13 EMA, I did peel some shares off just in case we rejected that, didn't quite get to the VWAP and came back down. But then we did continue to push up here, and I was watching the 20-second chart, and when we popped up on this candle over the VWAP and then pulled right back down, I went ahead and took the rest of my position off. Because my profit target was hit, however, in hindsight, I probably should have left on a few shares just in case we got a red to green, which in fact we did get. So my bad on my part, but I can't be upset with it because it was a solid trade, almost a full point out of it. So not anything to complain about. That was a nice solid win right there per my counter trend strategy. So that made up for the loss and then some that I had on NVIDIA. So now I was green on the day. And the last stock that I traded today was Tesla. And you can see Tesla just stupid extended here on the 10-minute chart. But before it got that extended, I actually took a long on it. So let me dial in here on the 2-minute chart and show you what I was looking at. All right, so these white dashed lines are pivot levels, and this is a study that you can put on your charts in pretty much all the charting software. Thinkorswim, eSignal, which I'm using here, and TC2000 offer this study that you can insert on your charts. I forget exactly. It's like a mathematical formula that sets predefined pivot levels from the previous day's price action. They are actually amazingly accurate. So I'm finding a lot of success with these pivot levels. You can see here off the open that Tesla, just ripped right up to the 38.2 fib, got rejected off of it to the penny. I mean, look at that. Beautiful rejection right off that fib level. Pulled back to the pivot level here, tried to hold it, broke down below it. Then it was struggling to hold VWAP here. It just, was almost looking like it was going to fail. Might be a good short. Lots of wicks up here. But, I wasn't obviously trading it at this time. I think I was either in Apple or done with Apple around this time. But Tesla came to my attention when I saw it come up here and reject off of the next pivot level. But if we zoom in, you can see I actually drew a little trend line here where it was wedging itself up against this pivot level. And I said in the room right about here that Tesla looked like it was going to go. I got in right here at 332.80 on this candle right there at 332.80 was my entry. My risk was a break below this, this trend, the 13 EMA, or at most below this low of this candle here, which unfortunately that's almost a point risk. But with Tesla, you've got to give it some wiggle room because Tesla, the spreads on Tesla alone are like 30, 35 cents sometimes. So, obviously I didn't take huge size on it. I only took 50 shares on it, so no crazy size. But what I wanted to do was add to my position if it did, in fact, go like I said it was going to. So I announced it in the room here. Basically, you know, members had a couple of minutes to look at it and get in, and I think a few people did take the trade with me. Solid trade. We did break up over that fib. But I didn't add to the position because you can see here how it was kind of struggling with these upper wicks. It just didn't break through with the type of authority I wanted to see. I was hoping that we would get a little bit of short panic and get a nice quick squeeze over that pivot. But I guess there just wasn't enough shorts in Tesla to really cause them to panic out. And so we just kind of grinded up over that level. So ended up just sticking with my original position size. I took my first take profit here just over the whole dollar here at 335. My actual final take profit target was 337, which if we look at the 10-minute chart, you'll see why that is. This red line right here, let's see. This red line right here on the 10-minute chart is marking the previous day's highs. So I kind of expected that there would be some resistance there at 337. So that was really going to be my final take profit, because if you're looking at a 10-minute chart here, by the time you get up here, it was looking really extended at the time. You have to remember these moving averages and the VWAP have smoothed out since then. So, you know, during live trading, way up here is just really extended away from the moving averages. So that was my final take profit target on Tesla. So I ended up, like I said, I took some profit just over the whole dollar at 337, at 336, and then I ended up getting filled on the almost the rest of my position. I left like 5 shares on, just like lotto shares, just in case we did get a move higher. So let me see. This is right about here. Here's 337. Yep, right here is 337. So this is where my final take profit was originally planned to be according to my trade plan, but I decided to go ahead and leave 5 shares on just in case because it was still looking strong. We pulled back a little bit here, but held the 13 EMA, still holding the 5 shares. But then when we had this pullback here, I decided to go ahead and take the rest off just because this pullback was so close to the previous pullback. And again, looking at that 10-minute chart, we're just getting really stupid extended at this point. So I just went ahead and locked it in. Solid trade, nice size winner, up very nicely on the day. So at this point, you know, I was trying to flip my bias on Tesla because, you know, looking at this 10-minute chart, it's just getting really stupid extended. And if I zoom out, you can actually see that I drew a descending trend line on this 10-minute chart that comes down here. I was looking for a possible rejection off of that trend line to hopefully get a pullback back at least down here to the previous day's high, or possibly down to the 13 EMA, which again at the time was way the heck down here. We didn't reject off of it. We went right through it and went to the fib level, or sorry, the next pivot level here at 341.58. And if we look at a 2-minute chart, I'll blow this up for you guys. So here on the 2-minute chart, here's where we came up and we tested that. That pivot level right there and pulled right off of it. So I noticed that and I said, all right, so there's a lot of sellers sitting up here. If it pulled off that quickly, sort of grinded up again, came up, immediately rejected right off of it. So when I saw this reject off that pivot level a second time, I got short. My entry was right about 340.80, so right about in here. Got a quick wash down here to the 13 EMA. I peeled a little bit of profit off, but not much. I only took about a quarter of my position off just because, you know, Tesla is strong on the day, and I wanted to go ahead and make sure that I at least remove some of the risk from the trade. But I was holding on to the majority of my position for a much bigger move down because we were so extended on that 10-minute chart. I mean, again, looking at this 10-minute chart up here at this pivot level, I mean, we're crazy extended. You know, I really wanted to see Tesla get one of its dirty rug pulls that a lot of times you'll see. But unfortunately, we just never got it. It ended up squeezing back up and stopped me out break even. So I made like $10 on that trade. So, you know, nice and green on the long trades, just basically, I'd call it flat on my first short attempt. Then we popped over the pivot level here, but we couldn't hold it. And Eric in the room actually mentioned that. And I was watching the same thing. We came up, tested it again, and just couldn't break over it. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to give this another stab if we can confirm that we're going to actually reject this pivot level here. So we got a quick wash here, not really a wash, but we did pull off of that pivot level. I think Eric got a fill around 340.80, so right about here, and I was just under him, about 340.50, basically right here at the bottom of this candle. is when I took another 50 share short. Popped up a little bit here, quickly rejected off the 13 EMA. So I started to feel pretty good about this. This could be the pullback that I was hoping to get over here. We had a quick wash down right here, followed by this candle, wash down again, and I took about half of my position off here just because the way Tesla, did to me over here, it didn't want to wash out. So I went ahead and took most. That was a nice 2-point drop right there. So that's pretty solid. You have to take that when it gives it to you. So I took about half off and wanted to see if we could get down to the 50 EMA here on the 2-minute. That was at least what I wanted to see. But man, this 339 level was just defended. You can see we popped up and we did reject off the 13 EMA, and I liked seeing these wicks here. But then this candle here started, when it came up, it just acted like it was going to go. This one here popped over the 13 EMA, pulled back down, but I just decided to go ahead and take the rest off, just because I just kind of had a gut feeling that it wasn't done. It was going to go. Could have got a better fill if I'd waited till down here, but when you were watching this in real time, this just looked like it was going to go ahead and go up higher, and I wasn't going to let it go red on me. So my stop was obviously at break even with my entry right here in this area. I didn't have a lot of wiggle room as it started to push up here, so I just went ahead and took it. Satisfied with it. I tried it short two times, just didn't get much out of it, but I got a solid trade out of it on the long side. So all in all, a very good day. Up nice and green on the day. Very satisfied with the way I traded. NVIDIA probably could have been better. If I hadn't taken that trade, I'd be up even better on the day, but again, I managed risk by taking smaller size on it, and that's just the way it rolls. That's that it happens. But anyways, I will go ahead and wrap it up there, guys. I hope you did enjoy the trade recap video. Let me know in the comments below if you did, and I'll try to do these more often for you. And if you have any questions, answer those below. I'll try to get to those and clarify anything you may be confused about. But listen, I hope you guys are doing well. Like I said, if you celebrate Thanksgiving, hope you had a great Thanksgiving, and Christmas is right around the corner. So hope you guys are all doing well, and I always appreciate you watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.